afternoon, everyone. My name is Cade Hill with Online Resources.
And I'm Derek Miller with Connections XR.
We provide scanning services using the Creaform technology, and today we're going to be unboxing the Creaform HandySCAN MAX Elite. So let's see what's in the box. Okay, so in the case we have the scanning system. We have a USB drive with software, license files, and calibration files for the scanner. We have a power supply, 2 boxes of adhesive target dots, one 12 millimeter, one 6 millimeter. We have the cables which connect your scanner to your PC, microfiber lens cleaning cloth, 4 magnetic clips for holding your calibration bars, 2 calibration bars, 1 small pack of clip cards for automatic clipping plane generation, and 2 unfoldable calibration plates for user calibration. Also in the top, we have the calibration certificate that comes standard with all Creaform scanning systems. Today we're going to be taking you through the setup and use of the HandySCAN MAX Elite, the newest scanner released by Creaform. I've had an opportunity to use the scanner myself, but Derek has not. He's a brand new user. So Derek, if you don't mind, let's go ahead and get this thing set up, and I will walk through some of the features as you're setting up and using it.
Cool.
So just like with the other Creaform scanners, this simply plugs into a 110 volt outlet. And is also interfaces directly with the user's PC.
Wow, this is super light, Cade.
Yeah.
My first impression holding it up, I was expecting it's kind of large. I'm like, it's going to be pretty heavy.
Exactly.
This is pretty light and very comfortable to hold. This is really cool.
Yep, and actually it's not much heavier than the HandySCAN. I think it's about maybe 20 or 30% longer than the HandySCAN, but I think it's not too much heavier. So it's going to be a similar, I guess, ease of use from a physical standpoint as using the HandySCAN Black Elite.
Yeah, and I see we have that kind of signature kind of touchpad, I guess, kind of interface here on the back with all the buttons. I'm assuming they're going to do different controls similar to the other HandySCAN series.
Yep, so all of the user controls are on the back of the scanner, similar to the HandySCAN Black Elite. Go ahead and plug that into the back there, Derek.
Sure.
Same exact connections to the scanner, to the laptop. We are currently using, I believe, the 8-meter cable. Yep, but it also comes with a shorter 4 or 6-meter cable, I believe, too. But we're using the longer cable in this case because we're scanning a little bit larger of a part. I'm going to start on Start VX Elements.
Okay. And again, this is the same standard software that every kind of Creaform product uses, so it's all the same stuff.
Cool. So same software, same everything, just a different scanner.
And you went ahead and installed all the licenses ahead of time, standard procedure, all that's not changing, it's all the same.
Adding a new product in the product manager either manually or it can be found also if you're connected to online services, just activating the new scanner.
Cool.
So I'm going to start a scanning session here. And I'm going to go through a few things with you. Today we're going to do both a user calibration, show you how that works. We'll also do an in-process calibration, or what they refer to as a live calibration during scanning as well. I'll describe that a little bit more in depth as it's happening, but first let me get your calibration artifacts, and I'll lay these out for you on the floor. So these are the calibration artifacts. Well, actually these are the plates. The calibration artifact itself actually is the scale bar that's also included, one of the 2 scale bars that's included in the case with the system.
Oh, wow.
So go ahead and unfold this.
Okay. So this is used to strictly calibrate the scanner, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
These are just for referencing so that the scanner can have its positioning around the bar during calibration. So I'll go
and is there a method to the placement of this, distance, anything to why you're setting it up this way?
Nope. There is, just kind of get them side by side like I have them here.
Okay.
Wide enough that you can set a calibration bar in between them, like so. I've got a little bit of trash here. Something like this. Okay.
Okay.
Now, this takes you through a user calibration similar to the other scanners where it gives you sort of an avatar on the screen that you have to follow around. I'm going to go ahead and begin the calibration by clicking the Calibrate HandySCAN button here. It's being a little bit sluggish. There we go. So you can see the calibration setup image here.
Okay.
Showing you how to set it up.
I see.
Just
So
like
we
I've set
have
it up here.
2 plates in the calibration bar in the middle,
Correct.
just like how it's shown.
That's correct. So go ahead and point the scanner at the calibration bar.
All
Press
right.
the middle button on the back of the scanner.
center button right here, which is again standard and typical HandySCAN stuff. So I'm going to hit that button.
Yep. And now you can see,
wow,
this is the distance. This is the new distance meter. So as you get closer, that circle shrinks. You want to back the scanner away and get that circle inside the green circle. There you go. Now get it closer.
Okay.
In the green, closer again.
Wow, this fall off is insane.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy. Like, how far I can be from my objects.
Yes, and you'll notice during the scanning process how far you can be as well. I'll go over the different volumes a little bit later. So now it's asking you to go to this nearest end of the bar, and you can see there's this little spherical avatar, and the goal is to fill that up with blue color. So you're going to kind of swipe it around and see how it's filling as you're swiping it around.
Yep.
So you got to get it at a little bit more of an extreme angle. There you go, and go all the way around. And I don't think you need to be quite that low, but get onto the other side there and kind of fill those in. There you go, just like that. Perfect. There you go. There you go. And then you're missing one other one kind of near your left foot down at the bottom too. There you go.
There we go.
Filled it in.
I'll do the same for the top.
Correct.
And again, like most calibration stuff, once you do them a handful of times, it becomes really, really fast. This is literally my first time doing this, so
you're doing a great job. Yeah, it is a little bit different than the other creaform calibration processes.
For sure. Now, real quick, I see a little yellow something on the bottom.
Yep, that's just the user interface kind of catching up with you.
Okay.
Once you finish filling those spheres in, it will go to the next stage of the calibration and finish.
Which much faster than the MetroScan calibration, that's for sure.
Yep.
And then I know this
parts
is
as well.
Yeah, this isn't quite a MetroScan, but it's not a HandySCAN either, and it's a nice sweet middle part. So
it's almost like if you took the HandySCAN calibration and the MetroScan calibration process and kind of mushed them together into one.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right. So while this is finishing, I'll go ahead and clean up our work area here.
Yes, so real quick here, Cade, so we have a Ford F-150 hood that we're going to be scanning today. It's a pretty shiny black material and quite large. It's probably 6+ feet in length, maybe 4 or 5 feet in height, and this is a part we had lying around in our kind of warehouse. It has severe hail damage all over it, so we thought it would be a great kind of test, subject to actually scan. And we're gonna go over some sounds like some inspection videos later to kind of figure out all the kind of the hail damage stuff. Real quick here, Cade. Now we have target dots on our part. Is there any particular method to the madness of target placement? What types of dots to use?
Yeah. So the benefit of this scanner, it is a larger scale system. Like I was mentioning before, it's intended to scan large parts, and it's kind of a sweet spot between the accuracy of the MetroScan and the ease of use, sort of usability of the HandySCAN. The registration is very similar to the HandySCAN in that you need positioning targets either on or around the part for the scanner to maintain its referencing. However, since you're able to stand so much further away from the part, and because the scanner's field of view is so much larger, you can use roughly 75% less dots than you would have with the HandySCAN.
Gotcha.
Now, a rule of thumb is whatever your standoff distance is, you want that to be some ratio to the spacing of the dots. I believe it's a 3-to-1. I'm not 100% certain of that.
Okay.
This is plenty of target dots. For this particular part, you're going to be standing roughly where I'm standing here. And pointing the scanner at the part to do the scanning. Okay. Additionally, I will also put a calibration bar in front of the hood as well. We've already done a user calibration, and since we've done a user calibration, having a scale bar in the scan is not necessary.
Okay.
But if the user of the scanner did not want to start with a user calibration, you can put the bar in your scanning field of view during scanning, and the scanner will self-calibrate during scanning, skipping the user calibration altogether.
So that first step that we did with the plates, we can bypass that by
Bypass
just
it totally.
Wow. Okay.
By just having one or more scale bars in the scene
Wow,
while
okay.
you're scanning, yes. So that user calibration can be bypassed totally. I'm just going to set the scale bar down here on the floor.
Yeah, and that's a huge time saver. Like,
Yes.
calibrating is a not a massive time sink, but it is always something that we're always kind of fighting against.
Sure.
So okay.
So I'm going to start the scan. I've got you right now in the middle working volume. So the user interface is very similar to what you would see using any other scanner. As far as what's on the right side of the screen, it's more of a HandySCAN kind of view.
Yep.
On the left side of the screen, it's totally new, but similar in style. So you still have your navigator here, where all of your scans are going to appear.
Yep.
All the same.
Same user interface.
Same user interface as far as the ribbon goes, calibration and things on the right-hand side. The scanner auto configures itself, auto shutter. So you don't need to modify your shutter speed for any part. The scanner will optimize its shutter speed.
So a feature from like the I guess GoScan Spark line.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. So you don't need to worry about configuring the scanner here. It's going to auto configure itself during scanning.
Okay.
Now, one thing I do want to show you though is that there's these 3 volumes here. And I'm going to switch this to millimeters. That way we're speaking the same language. I know you prefer to speak in metric, so I'll switch this to millimeters quickly. Okay, so in the near volume, which we're not going to be using for this part, the standoff in the near volume is going to be, well, it's still showing me in inches. That's okay. 15.75 to 23.62 inches standoff.
And when you say near volume, does that mean the distance I am to my part?
How close you are physically to the part. That's correct.
And is this about a near volume sweet spot?
Maybe even slightly closer.
Okay, so more like the standard HandySCAN kind of.
That would be more of like your HandySCAN distance.
Okay.
For this part, we're going to be using the mid volume, which is anywhere from 23.62 standoff up to 51 inches standoff.
Okay.
So imagine you could be standing 4 feet back from the part.
Okay.
So you're kind of actually where you're standing now in the nearer range of the mid volume. You can even back it up a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the same thing, distance bar, excuse me, for your distance to the part will be shown on the screen during scanning too, and that will give you some indication of how close you need to be.
Gotcha.
All right. So I've got you in the mid volume now. Oh, by the way, in the mid volume, maximum resolution in the mid volume is 0.8 millimeters.
0.8
in
millimeters.
the mid volume.
Okay.
In the near volume, the max resolution is 0.4 millimeters.
And for our friends who use inches, that would be roughly.
That would be 0.4 millimeters would be roughly 15 thousandths or so.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit less than that, like 8 thousandths maybe.
Okay.
And then in the far volume, the maximum resolution is 3 millimeters.
And far, we're talking how far we.
Like so the far volume, the max distance is 51.8 inches to 86.1 inches. So
86.
Think about you're standing back in that corner and scanning this.
Gosh! Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So you can stand very, very far away. And by the way, the distance of the scanner correlates to the field of view of the scanner as well. So, as you step further back, the field of view is increased, and you're scanning not only at a further distance, but you're also getting a larger swatch of scan data in a single shot.
Okay.
So imagine you could stand at the far distance, stand back in this corner, and just spray the corner of the room.
Okay.
Basically.
That sounds wild, but
it's pretty cool. All right. So switching to the mid volume now, we're going to use a modest resolution here. I'll set you at 2 millimeters.
Okay.
And when you begin the scan, go ahead and press and hold the back button to start your scan. So the scanning process will begin here.
So again, similar kind of button flow as the other peer.
Now the only difference though, is that they've separated this scanning process into sort of a 2-stage process.
Okay.
So when you press and hold the circle button, the center button on the back, it automatically kicks you into scanning targets only. Okay?
Okay.
Now, when you press and hold it to process, you get to review the targets that you've collected, make sure that all of them are collected correctly.
Okay.
And then you press and hold again to enter into the actual scan surface.
Okay. So right now we are in targets only mode. Is that correct?
So press and hold the circle button.
All right. This will enable me to start scanning.
Now you're in targets mode. So go ahead and tap it once.
Tap it once.
Yep. And there you go. So now you can see you're collecting targets.
Okay.
So, and see where your distance meter is. So you're like in the middle of the far volumes,
Right.
in the mid volumes. You can
Okay.
even take a step back if you like.
So this kind of distance meter is kind of a throwback to the Go Scan 50 and 20s. The I guess
Yep.
that kind of user interface there.
Now
All
make
right.
sure you're getting your bar. See how your bar has appeared?
Yep.
And you're going to want to cover your bar enough times for this little indicator across the bar here to turn green.
And when you say cover, we mean talking about different angles.
Yeah, just different angles.
Okay.
Shoot it from, and there you go. See, it's gone green
Yep.
now.
Okay.
And it's best, Derek, to even err on the side of a little bit too far than a little bit too close. So see, now you're pretty
Yep.
far. So
Yep.
just
Okay.
kind of err on that side. Because remember, we want to use as few target dots as we can. And you're going to be seeing more target dots with a wider field of view. And to get a wider field of view, you need to step further back.
Gotcha.
All right. So there you go. So you've collected your targets and you've collected your bar. So go ahead and
Okay.
press and hold the center button. And there you go. So now we're in a stage where we can review our target dots.
Okay.
So you see there's a couple here on the left that are red. That's okay.
Yep.
But most of what we're seeing here is green.
Okay.
It's indicating that we've collected these well, and the scanner understands that the pattern of dots, and it will be able to register correctly.
Yep.
So now if you press and hold the button again, it will send you into scan surface.
Okay.
Now tap it once, and you'll be scanning.
Wow. So we're scanning right now.
Yep.
This is
It's scanning. Yep.
insane how far I am from the part, and I'm like, this is wild.
Yep. So keep in mind, I'm at a 2 millimeter resolution here. Obviously, the same rules apply. You'll be able to scan faster at lower resolutions.
Sure.
Need to move a little bit slower at high resolutions.
Right.
You'll notice there's the same sort of user feedback from the scanning system in terms of, yellow has not been collected well enough. It eventually turns blue and you get full saturation as you go over things more and more.
And this has the standard kind of smart resolution feature
Correct.
that kind of previous
That's correct.
scanners have.
Right now we are at 2 millimeters with smart resolution active.
Okay.
Which means that in all of the high curvature areas, it will be using a resolution of 1 millimeter. The software will notify you if you're using a resolution that's incompatible with smart resolution for limitation issues. Things
Gotcha.
like that.
So we're pretty much done scanning this whole part. That was fast.
Yes, correct.
Wow. Okay.
So go ahead and press and hold the button. And there you go. So notice, we've scanned this entire part,
Yeah.
but we still have the floor, right?
Yep.
Another development that Creaform has come up with this particular scanner is what are called clipping cards. So these clipping cards, like I showed you in the unboxing video, are here. They come in a little envelope. They look very similar to the coded targets you would see with a Max shot system.
Yeah.
The way these work is we set them on the ground, around the part, just like this. You need at least 4 to create a box. Now, obviously when we come over here, we're not going to be seeing very many targets.
Yeah.
But let's pretend for a second that we wanted to scan something different, right? Let's say we wanted to scan maybe this guy here, or let's scan this MetroScan case. We can still use the targets behind this as registration, so that's fine. So I'll set these here like this. Like so. So what this does is during your target collection phase, the scanner will collect these clipping cards on the ground. Okay. And these clipping cards will automatically create a clipping plane across them and a bounding box around them.
Okay.
So everything in a box that these create up is going to be clipped away. Everything outside of that will be clipped away.
So
and the floor will be clipped
we're
away
doing a
as well.
2D plane plus an other.
Basically, think of a rectangular prism being kind of projected up from these, and everything outside of that is going to be automatically removed from your scan.
Okay.
Now, the hood isn't a very good setup, obviously, because we'll have to get behind it to get the clipping
Sure.
cards, and we don't have any dots back there.
Yeah.
But if our goal was to scan this MetroScan case now, let me go ahead and reset the scan, and we can
Sure.
start again. So we're starting from scratch, so go ahead and press the middle button again. Begin collecting targets. Tap the button. So there you go. Got your clipping cards.
Oh, it's like drawing.
So there you go. So there's your box.
Yeah. Okay. And same rules. So I'm catching the calibration bar here. Same rules apply. I
Yep.
want to get that green.
Right.
So hit it from multiple angles. There we go. We just got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So now go ahead and press and hold.
So anything outside of this volume will be clipped and no longer
now
scanned.
you won't even be collecting the hood now. You're just collecting
Just the case,
Yes, that's
okay.
right. So go ahead and press and hold again and begin scanning your surface. And away you go.
Wow.
So those are the clipping cards.
Yeah, this is really slick.
So you can imagine you're, in a museum or something, scanning an artifact on the ground.
Yeah, or just a big car, vehicle,
whatever.
parts,
Yep, exactly.
just to kind of clip out like the shop floor and all that.
So you see the setup's not great because you're not seeing any of the dots back there,
Right,
but you
right.
get the idea.
Yeah. So like just for testing sake, let's say I want to if I spray over here a little bit, I'm not getting any of this hood whatsoever.
Right.
It's clipping all that out, and that's fantastic.
Yep.
I love the auto shutter. That's a really cool
So do something
slick
for me,
feature.
Derek. Press
Yep.
that button on the right. This scanner is outfitted with a high resolution mode similar to the HandySCAN.
Okay.
So the way it works is you press the right button on the scanner. Up and down also is zooming just like normal.
Okay. Very cool.
Yep, the left button, click the left button. The left button brings up your menu. And
Gotcha.
you can scroll through your menu and do whatever you need to do. So you
Sure.
can exit that. But the right button goes in and out of what's called high resolution mode. And what high resolution mode does is it kicks you into the nearer volume to the volume you're currently in.
Okay.
So if you're in the far volume, pressing the high resolution mode
I have
brings
to
you
get
into the
closer
mid
to my
volume,
part.
and you have to physically get closer to the part.
Gotcha.
But the high resolution mode does a 4x on your resolution.
4x. Okay. All right.
So what that means is that since the near volume is capable of a higher resolution than the mid volume, to use high resolution mode, it has to kick you into the near volume in order to capture at the resolution that's only capable in the near volume.
So a perfect case in point, let's say we're scanning let's say this actual big truck, right? And we have the big body panels, we can get away with a lower resolution. And then we get to a part that's more intricate, like the grill or something like that, where there's more fine ribbing. We would want to up the high resolution mode, get closer to our part, and knock those out.
Now the kicker for that is whatever you want to get in high resolution mode, you need to cluster your dots closer together.
Gotcha, because it still needs to see.
Because it still needs those dots for
I got you.
registration.
Okay.
So when you get you bring the scanner in here, obviously it's not seeing any dots in this area.
Right.
So if we wanted to do high res on just this area, maybe I can take a few more dots and we can move this MetroScan case.
Yeah, to kind of plan out your kind of scan.
So it takes a little bit of pre-planning to figure
Sure.
out what you want to do exactly.
Yeah.
But let's say we had a feature here that we wanted to find at a high resolution, or tell you what we can do. We'll just do this. Put some dots over here, maybe.
Yeah, and this is something that we see a lot of. So if we use like a MetroScan or whatever, if we're scanning body panels, we would save those out as separate scenes, and then we do like a separate scan of more high res stuff. So that's really kind of slick how it kind of combines those together.
Right. You can still do the same thing in here too. I mean, if you want to do different scans and do
Sure.
high res scans in some and low res scans in others, we'll just take this remote or something.
Yeah.
This here. So we got this remote that needs a higher resolution, right?
Yep.
So go ahead and set that there. I'll reset your scan again.
Yep.
Okay. So go ahead and begin your scan, collecting everything as you did before.
And do we need to remove this clipping volume?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
That's a good
Is there any particular order? You just kind of throw them down. There's not like an order like 1, 2, 3, 4. You just
No, they're all identical. So
Okay.
it doesn't matter.
Okay.
The clipping card, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah, they're all identical.
Cool.
So let me remove it because there's a clipping card here. And these clipping cards are coded, which means that if it won't just see these as regular target dots. It knows this is a clipping card.
Okay.
So it'll be important to get those out of your scanning scene if you don't want a clipping volume in your scanning scene.
Gotcha.
So go ahead and press the middle button, begin your scan again. Collect your dots, and again, you want to step a little bit away.
Yeah, that's gonna get
Yeah,
a little bit weird to get used to.
It's tough to get used to,
To
definitely.
stand this far back from a part.
Yep, so
Normally
there you go.
we're
It's
really
got,
close.
it's got the bar, so go ahead and saturate your bar a little more. Make sure that's all squared away. There you go. Got it. Now come over here and get these dots. There you go. Good. Well done. All right, so press and hold the button. Now away you go. So start scanning the hood. You're in the mid volume now, so keep in mind that you'll want to step back just a little bit.
Yep. I'm gonna just scan the hood first, right? And then
correct.
move over and get that remote.
And then once you're ready to scan the remote, you'll tap the right button, go into high resolution mode, and you'll get up close on the remote and scan the remote.
Wow, this is so fast.
Mm-hmm. And this is a challenging part as well, the dark, shiny part.
Yeah.
It has very similar data capture capabilities as the other scanners in the Black series.
Okay, so I'm ready to go to high resolution mode.
Press
So
the
I
right button.
tap the right one once.
And notice now you're way too far away. So
yeah,
get
I
closer.
gotta get really closer. Okay.
Way close.
Yep, yep.
There you go.
There we go.
Now you're getting high res on the remote.
Okay,
And you see how it's saturating purple.
Yeah,
right.
okay.
Okay, and then when we process this, go ahead and press and hold. I'll go ahead and finalize the data, and we'll take a look and see what high res did. So I'll go ahead and click the finalize button.
Yeah, I just can't get over how light this is. Like for being such a big scanner, you'd think it'd be really heavy, but this is, yeah, basically I've been holding it the entire time and I just didn't even notice it, so that's really cool.
Now, for the near volume and the mid-range volume, it needs 6 millimeter high reflective targets.
Okay.
For the far volume, it requires 12 millimeter high reflective targets, similar to the MetraScan.
Okay.
Okay. It comes with a box of those. You can see them sitting in the box over there.
Yeah.
You cannot mix the 6 millimeters and the 12 millimeter targets in a single scan.
Okay.
It will only reference off of one or the other.
Okay.
Okay, so there you go. So now it's done. So see, now you've got your lower resolution hood here.
Yep.
And then zooming in on this remote, we've got a nice crispy high resolution remote.
That's slick. That's really slick.
Cool. Well done.
So this is the HandySCAN MAX.
That is the HandySCAN MAX Elite.
Cool. Awesome, Kate. Thank you so much for showing me this.
You're welcome.
Literally, this is my first time, guys, doing all this.
Yeah,
so.
first time user. So very easy to use, very easy to set up, very user friendly.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. So I think we can all agree that the new HandySCAN MAX series is an exciting product. It's also adding capabilities for those large parts where the HandySCAN and the MetraScan have really left off. I'm also excited about what's coming up and what other objects we can scan. You've seen a little sneak peek here in this video of the plane that we're going to be scanning, as well as a boat and 2 Indy cars. So keep an eye out for those videos coming up. Derek also mentioned about an inspection video. We're going to be taking the hood here with all the hail damage and throwing that into Creaform's VX Integrity dent analysis software. And we're going to be giving you a unique opportunity to download some of this data and take a look at it for yourselves. So go to our website, www.onlineresourcesinc.com, to download some of that stuff. Also check us out at LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at ORI 3D Tech for more 3D scanning information. And thanks again for watching the video.